The news of Turkia Mullin's $200,000 severance just for leaving her old job shook Wayne County's headquarters today. Commission members are furious, demanding to know how this happened and if it can be stopped.
My immediate reaction is much the same as any taxpayers. That, it made my head spin.
That's Wayne County Commission Chairman Gary Warncheck reacting today to last night's report by the Action News investigators about a golden parachute for one of the county's highest paid employees. In August, Turkia Mullin was selected as the next CEO for Detroit Metro Airport. She'd leave her county job where she was paid $200,000 a year as head of economic development for a big raise at the airport, another $50,000 more. But on her way out the door, Mullin was given a $200,000 severance payment, which the county says was part of her contract. The check cleared at the same time that county employees are struggling with deep 20% pay cuts. County parks are being closed, and funding has been trimmed to vital programs like Meals on Wheels.
I think it's reprehensible that somebody willingly would leave a job for a better paying job, knowing the state of the county's budget, to take that kind of a severance.
Commission Vice Chair Laura Cox and other commissioners said they were blindsided by the news of Mullin's payout, and they're demanding answers from County Executive Robert Ficano. If this is part of her contract, they say, why didn't they know about it?
I am requesting from the administration copies of all contracts, not just for this individual, but for her predecessor, since they say that this is some sort of common practice. When the commission approved the appointment, there was no contract attached to it.
I'm joined now live in our studio by the new airport director, Turkia Mullin. Thank you so much for coming by. We've been wanting to talk to you today. Good evening.
Good evening.
You were the third highest paid employee in Wayne County. Why do you deserve $200,000 just for leaving your job?
Well, I think, Heather, you really have to focus on the performance, and my performance speaks for itself. You know, everything I've received, I've earned, and if you look at, I'm an attorney, I'm an accountant, I have a CPA exam, or passed the CPA exam, I'm a licensed real estate broker, and, you know, if you look at the county and what I've done at the county, just in the past 2 years, I've been able to bring in over $5 billion in economic investment to Wayne County. And we've been featured as, and that involves thousands and thousands of jobs, working with companies to create thousands of jobs. And if you even look at the Brookings Institute worldwide, we've moved up 100 places from 147 to 47 in economic activity worldwide. I've done more in the past 2 years than in the past 10 years that had happened in Wayne County. In addition to that, we've been recently featured as one of the top 10 economic development groups in the company by the prestigious Site Selection magazine. So I think the problem in government is people are so focused on the salary rather than focus on the performance. Get competent, capable people who are performance-based, and if you're not happy with my performance, then get rid of me. But, you know, that's what I'm entitled to based on my negotiation for my contract.
This isn't an issue of your credentials in this particular case. This is an issue of, in these economic times, when you have county workers taking such huge pay cuts, you're taking a $200,000 just to walk away for a better job. How is that fair? I negotiated this. It was consistent with what my predecessor was paid, and actually my predecessor received an 18-month package, but nobody made an issue of that. And you know, where I'm now appointed the CEO at the airport, at least three executives walked away with a 1-year severance. And the airport's we're looking at a $20 million budget deficit right now, walking into the airport. So to question, you know, you really, again, have to focus on the performance. And I've earned, you know, I grew up very poor. I worked my way up. I worked my way through school. I'm a veteran of the United States Army, and I've never been handed anything. So, you know, the fact that you have harsh economic times, that's precisely what I'm there for, to create jobs. And I've worked with companies, and you can talk to people in the business community. They will tell you that we've established a tremendous confidence for companies to come and invest billions of dollars in this region. I understand, though, you get a second salary from the Wayne County Fund that we've talked about in the past.
Let me be clear.
So you get 2 salaries and the severance?
let me just be clear, clarify for you. I get $200,000 base pay from the county, and the business community who has, and again, these people have millions, if not billions of dollars vested in this community, and they wanted a say, and so they've established performance measures, which I, in fact, more than met, and as a result, I received another $75,000 through the Business Development Corporation.
Okay, so the other appointees in the other counties do not get severance, whether they're terminated?
I'm glad you mentioned that, because if you look statewide, Kalamazoo, that economic development director is paid over $400,000. Saginaw, over $200,000. The west side of the state, over $280,000. In Detroit, over $300,000. So if you want to talk about benchmarking, and we are the largest county in Michigan, and we serve more people than any other county in Michigan. So my pay, and again, part of that was performance-based, but it's definitely commensurate and consistent, and actually on the lower end of this pay scale when you look at other economic developers across the state, because economic development is a critical component for creating jobs.
I'd like you to listen to something that one of the Wayne County employees had to say about this particular situation and the pay cut that they've had to take.
I did not go to the doctor for 3 months because I couldn't afford the doctor bill. I'm on high blood pressure pill, and I need my blood pressure pills. They run at like $25 per month for one pill. So, when you can't afford to go to the doctor, what do you do?
I get emails and calls on a weekly basis from Wayne County employees who are struggling to make ends meet. How, again, do you justify this kind of severance package in this kind of economic climate?
Well, a couple things. First of all, I grew up very poor. We were 5 kids in a 1-bedroom house on 8 Mile and Shaner. And I worked, the GI Bill fortunately was able to help me pay through college. I had a paper route that paid for my braces. I know what it's like to be poor. I was there, painfully aware. Second of all, when you talk about the AFSCME employees, and the disservice, you know, we have great relations with a lot of the labor leaders, leadership, and you know, when people typically are very proud, well, they need to have some accountability from their president, who's been one of my biggest critics, Mr. Al Garrett, who makes over $400,000 when you factor in his compensation and everything else he receives. Okay, but he's not shy. He's not shy about taking union dues from people who can't make their health insurance. I didn't have health insurance. Thank God for the Army that I had health insurance when I went to the Army, and I had lifetime health insurance. Okay, so I know what it's like to be poor. But I worked this is the land of opportunity, and that's precisely what we seized on in this country, is this beautiful country of ours, is the education. And you know, thanks to my military background, you know, so you talk about as if it's a step removed. You know, Heather, I've been there. And most of the labor leaders, they took the pay cut, and Bob Ficano led by example. We were the first ones to take the cut, he and his appointees. And AFSCME, unfortunately, they've been out there not wanting to take the pay cut, and they had to play catch up because they didn't take the pay cut initially. They thought they were special and not like the other 70% of the unions that did take the pay cut, because they know what it's like.
The county is facing a $160 million budget deficit. Considering all the controversy surrounding the severance package, are you willing to give the $200,000 back? I
earned it? Absolutely not. It was part of my contract, part of my agreement, and that's something I earned, and not even you know, that's not an option. And you know, if you look at, and Heather, it's kind of interesting, because if you look at executives, when do executives, there's so much complacency and not questioning the performance of people. Question their performance and demand accountability on a performance level. And if they don't deserve it because they haven't earned it, then you can fire them. Fire me if I haven't earned it. But you will see, give me the opportunity, and you will see how I make the airport one of the most competitive airports in this country and drive millions, and if not billions of dollars to this region with my current position.
Who did you negotiate the severance with?
Mr. Ficano, when I first talked about getting appointed.
So he was aware that you got this severance recently?
Of course, he authorized it.
Okay. All right.
We have to pay people what they're worth.
Well, you talk about performance. I mean, let's talk about Pinnacle. An audit recently talked about that your performance wasn't so hot on that. You also talk about the $5 billion that you brought in. Did you personally bring in all of that economic?
It's $5 billion, not $5 million.
I said billion if it didn't come out right, sorry, but $5 billion. Did you personally bring all of that in?
Well, I think you have to look at the confidence in the region and whether it's a great example, A123. A123 2 years ago did not exist here. Call A123 executives up and ask them what role Turkia Mullin played. They now have over 1,000 employees right here in Wayne County. They have the Center of Energy Excellence and they have their Romulus battery campus. And Bob Ficano right now is trying to work with battery companies in Asia to bring them here, vertically integrate and bring more jobs and investment to the region.
But did you personally bring in all of that, more than $5 billion in investment?
We played an integral role, whether it was the DMC Vanguard and their $1.5 billion, and on Christmas Eve, sitting in the office with Mr. Mike Duggan and expediting this. Don't ask me, ask these business executives what Turkia Mullin has done for the region in terms of jobs and job creation and investment.
What kind of golden parachute do you have for your airport deal?
The only parachute I've ever, I used to roll parachutes and jump with the special forces on the weekends.
Do you have a severance packet for your airport contract?
Yes, I do.
How much is that?
It's 6 months, and it's in my contract.
6 months of your pay, of the $250,000?
Yes.
Okay.
Unlike my predecessor who just walked away with a 1-year severance.
Okay. So we have asked the county for the terms of your current severance package to have all the details on that. They, of course, have told us to file a public records request, which, as you know, takes some time to get. Are you willing to release that to us?
If I have a copy of it, sure.
Okay, well, we'll look for it.
But you guys keep us busy. You've FOIA'd my department over 200 times, I think. I don't get involved in the FOIAs, but that's kind of shocking because the next media is probably closer to 5.
Well, we're big on accountability here at Channel 7. We like transparency.
We're all about transparency and accountability too, but you start to wonder after a while if it's somebody has a bone to pick. Is it, you know?
We just like accountability. That's what we're all about. Turkia, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you coming in to answer these questions.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thanks. We'll be right back.